What's up, everybody? We're back with another episode. Today, I have a gentleman that's a part of a team that I've been working with for a few months. We are going to get them to 1 million. They've been absolutely crushing it. They're scaling up. I brought with their, agency owner. They got a few absolute savages on the team leading the way. But I got my brother coming to me today, and he's been doing this thing. So, Paul, thank you for hopping on today, bro.
Absolutely, Trey. Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. Of course. All right. So before we hop in, give a little context, bro. How did you get into the life insurance space in general?
Yeah. So my upline, Logan Harris, we met each other probably 6, 7 years ago. He was a CNA in the healthcare field, and I was a nurse. We became good friends. We linked up after we no longer worked at the same place together, started bodybuilding together. We both had different paths, went our separate ways for a little while. He got introduced into life insurance. He got started into it about 6 months into his journey in life insurance. He sent me a text and said, "Hey, bro, like with our background, I feel like this is something that you'd be really good at." At first, Trey, I'm going to be honest, man. Whenever I seen all the posts and heard all the stories about how life insurance worked, I thought it was a scam,
Mm,
just because I didn't believe the numbers. I didn't think that was possible to do in a week's time. So I pushed it off. 3 months go by. I still see all his posts, still see everything that he's scaling. And I sent him a text back and I was like, all right, man, like, what's the deal with this? So he went over it again, told me how life insurance worked. I decided to give it a shot. I said, what the heck, man? What can I lose? You know?
mhm.
And from there, it's kind of just been history.
Yeah.
Numbers are real, work ethic's real. I mean, if you put time in,
Yeah, dude, I actually didn't know that. So now I'm about to dig a little deeper if you don't mind me asking it. So you were a nurse and you guys were in the health field. Is that correct?
yeah,
Okay, tell me how was that, bro? Like what's the biggest differences between what you were doing then and what you're doing now? Because I don't know much about this, but like you make good money being a nurse. Like I know that field can be lucrative as well. So like I guess walk me through some of the biggest differences that you've seen in general between like that space and like this space.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously, we had that big spell of COVID come through, right? Nurses were being paid a significant amount of money because of the demand for nurses in that time frame with the epidemic and the pandemic. Not a lot of people wanted to work, and a lot of the older nurses in the baby booming era actually retired because they were afraid of the diagnoses that people were receiving. To be quite honest, one of the main reasons why I decided to pursue life insurance as well, and I still am a nurse, and we'll touch base on that for in a little bit. There's not a whole lot of difference for me because as a nurse, my sole purpose is to provide care, protect, and treat people. I do the same thing in life insurance. My mindset is discover their problem, provide a solution. So there's not much difference for me in aspects of I do it to care for people and their loved ones. Same concept.
Yeah, same principle. You said something that you're still a nurse, and you explain what that means, or go
Yeah,
ahead.
for sure. So when I first started the space, I was a full time wound care coordinating nurse manager. I did that position for 4.5 years. I have just recently, in the past month, dropped my management status to PRN status. So, in my first 5 months in the business, I was working 50 to 60 plus hours a week and still producing 30 to 40K months.
I'm excited now. All
Yeah.
right, so let's all
So
right.
even in my current position right now, Trey, where I'm producing the way I'm producing, I still work 3 12-hour shifts a week as a nurse.
Let me ask you a question before why?
Why?
Yeah. Like, dude, you're crushing it, by the way. Just so everybody understands, we're gonna get into his numbers and like his sales out. But like I didn't even know like why. Is that just because you really love it, bro? Or like
Yeah, so I have a large passion for nursing,
that, bro?
as well as I worked hard for that license. I like to keep that license. In order to keep that license, you have to maintain CEUs, just like life insurance. You have to maintain a certain amount of shifts a month. I do it because I like it. And honestly, my wife plays a big role in that as well. She's she wasn't very keen on life insurance at first until I showed the results.
Yeah.
And then once the results were coming through, she allowed me to take that first step to dropping down from full time to PRN. But she still wants me to pursue the PRN and maintain that status because she knows I do love it. So I do it. I do still have freedom in that aspect of my nursing area just by the way I set my schedule up while I'm there. I still provide myself time to speak with clients while I'm at work. I still have the ability to sell
Hmm.
insurance while I'm at work, really push a warm market, not with residents or client or patients or whatever that is, but family members that come in. They all know I do life insurance. I plant seeds with everybody that I talk to, and I have a good rapport and relationship with family members of people that come in. So I I really run two sides of the spectrum because it's a huge warm market. I
Right.
mean, you have people that come in there where their final stages in life is going to be at this transitional period where I'm caring for them. And a lot of the times their family members or spouses or whomever it may be find themselves in a situation where their loved one is, working through that transitional period into the other afterlife and they're not protected themselves. They utilized me as a resource to find that protection and solve that problem for them. So like I said, it's a huge warm market as well as I just have a huge passion for nursing. I've done it my entire life. I've been in healthcare slash first responding since I was 6 years old, where my mother took me to be a candy striper in the hospital. So it's just
Mhm.
something I've always done, something I feel like I will always do, as well as pursuing my ultimate goal in life insurance, which is becoming an agency owner and running a multiple team, multiple guy team, and just scaling that business.
Dude, I love it, bro. Side note, and I just wrote a note. We're gonna I think we're gonna make some custom leads for you guys now. And I didn't even like for nurses, bro. It's something I don't have context,
Yeah.
but like I'll just keep this on the recording. But dude, like I like when I generate leads, like for you guys, for clients, etc. I like to have a lot of context. And the fact
Yeah.
that you actually, were in the field, I think we
Yeah.
could make some banger ads and some really good leads for that demographic. But we'll talk about that at the end. All right. So, dude, that's fire, bro.